All right, we are recording, it looks like, and I'm going to get started here. So I'm looking to just record, like my last review, just kind of a rambling sort of list of ideas or thoughts kind of on the Bazaar. Ideas, again, I'm going to kind of ramble on with the goal of at some point coming back and, editing it down to something short, but kind of want to just get some, I don't know, get a few things kind of started here. So what I think I want to do first is maybe I'll just have some stuff playing in the background here. Yeah, just have some gameplay going. So first off, what's my history with the game? So how did I first discover the Bazaar? So I think I actually got something up here I can show. So there's this dude, it's Ben321. I was following one of his other channels, Ben's Backpack. So played a lot of backpack battles. I'm trying to remember who initially got me into it, but I was watching him a lot. And then he also had this other channel, it's Ben321, and he actually was doing some Bazaar content. So definitely a good chill streamer. That's kind of how I initially found out about it. And now I watch a lot of people like, I'll probably butcher it, but Rachresh. I think he's been, rank 1 legend. I think the ranking here is maybe a little bit weird, but he's always kind of up there. Also, Pun None No Fun. I want to say they're legendary. Let me see. No more details, but again, some good content just to learn the meta and for what's going on. So yeah, that's kind of what got me started. What hooked me early? It's visually, I don't know. I think visually it's a pretty cool game to watch. Maybe if I get some later builds here, you can see it, but if I get to a battle here, maybe me versus Stell. 1 sec. Let's see. I don't know if this will be a good one, but heat. And now I don't have any regen. Oh yeah, this is definitely. Yeah, so I mean, there's lots of colors and flashing lights, and it's, a card game, so I kind of like that chill sort of vibe where you can play asynchronously, where you don't have to be playing against another player right at that second. I mean, I really liked another card game, Hearthstone, way back in the day when it came out, but I like this where you can take your time, step away, and you don't have to worry that, you're going to lose because you can't play non-stop or from a whole game start to finish. Earlier on in the Bazaar, at least when I started playing, I think it was still in early access, and again, I liked it, but then versus now, it's gotten way more stable. It used to crash a lot and be kind of buggy, especially before they're on a Steam client and they're just on their own. But yeah, before I started doing my recording and review, like you can see the timer's running up here, I want to say I had about like 200 hours in the game, so like a fraction compared to some of the people that I was watching. But I wonder if I started off here. Yeah, so you can kind of see here as I'm starting it off. Yeah, at the start I had 230 hours logged, 230 games, so yeah, pretty close to about an hour a game there. Pig is the one I played the most, I think. Let me see if there's a better breakdown. Top heroes. I'm trying to see if I can find out where I was playing most hours logged. Yes. These are just general stats. But I kind of want to see who I played the most. Maybe I don't show that here. Anyways, about 200 hours in, mostly with Pig and Vanessa, I think. Vanessa just because that's the default hero that you get. Pig just because I'm like that kind of sweaty vibe where there's lots of econ focus. But yeah, love the game, and then decided to record the 24 hours. So next, what changed when I played the game? Again, I didn't get too critical while I was doing the review. for this. I just wanted to kind of get 24 hours in, as the game had just launched from early access, I think like onto Steam. So I was like, okay, now's a good time when the game's changing a little bit, and that's why I got into it. How has the game evolved over time? So I already mentioned what's better now is it's more stable. I mean, to its credit, I think there's another streamer I was watching, Northern Lion, and he's like, I still play this game despite how much it crashes. And it's true. And it rarely crashes anymore, so that's way better, because there's nothing more frustrating than needing to go back to the main menu, restart the game, and at some point you actually needed to reinstall like the whole entire app. And again, like I said, so much better since moving to Steam than their own client. What do I miss from earlier versions? I think it was a little bit simpler when it first started. Again, less heroes, less items, less like meta changes, but I don't know if I miss that too much. Again, it's a lot of fun. That's why I have, let me see, if I open up the game here, what am I at? Okay, we're in the midway through a season right now. Actually, I don't know if we're midway through. I should check to see how much is left. Prize pass. Enter the chef. Okay, it actually doesn't say how much time's left. It might be available online, but anyways, what are my current numbers right now? 300 games played, 350 hours logged. So yeah, it seems I'm spending more times. Yeah, Pig clearly playing way more than the other ones. Wins, games played. So Vanessa more, because that's where I was learning. 10 win percent. Okay, so Stell, maybe I just got lucky at the start. Time played. Yeah, Pig most. Mac, I'm surprised. Dooley, yeah, play a little bit more. Rank games played. Very similar days played. Alright, that is a rough idea. You can see again, Pig's my main, and that's the other ones. You can see I'm still not super good because I've only got 4 perfect wins and a few other ones. But yeah, rough idea, just showing I've got a fair amount of hours in here. What else? So comparing the meta of like the game now versus the earlier version, I feel like now that there's 2, 4, 6 heroes, I haven't bought the latest one. I might, but I'm also want to take a little bit of a break from the game. But meta seems to be changing, with each patch. You'll see a big shift in the meta as people figure out the new builds. I'd say another meta change is, if I go back to my man, refresh, where's my other window? Yeah, so he's doing this thing, and I don't know how much this is going, but where is, let's start it up here.
Well met.
So you can see here on the left, playing with bands practice, bands can't be on end screen. So there's a list of items here that he can't play at the end. So he can play as he's going through, all the different days, but at the end they can't be on. So that means he needs to have something he can switch out to. You have to balance how much you want to invest in these items versus not. Just turn the volume down. But yeah, the meta is changing that way, as then through these bans list and these different leagues, people are trying to customize the game or make it a little bit more variable. So yeah, I'd say the meta is changing quite a bit, and that's kind of like a positive and negative to it, I would say. Just in the way that like this game's a lot of fun, but I find it's not as fun just playing it. I also like watching it, so you can see the top players and kind of get a sense of how the meta is changing. So yeah, definitely a lot of depth there. I mean, that's why I have so many hours in, and I really like it. So pretty good. Okay, so next, the core gameplay. Fun or fatigue after 200 plus hours. This, yeah, for me, this game just hits all the right things where, again, like I said, I like some faster paced games, like I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, which is still pretty chill, but requires more precision and pattern recognition and a different type of game. But I still love the Bazaar for that more strategic element, because every run is different. That's one thing that is nice about the game now, is with more heroes and more combinations and with patches they put out and new events, you can't really force a build. I remember even in previous seasons, like I don't know if I'll have it on here, like especially Pig with Drum. I want to say there's like 2 or 3 seasons where it was just it was just shitty, because it would always be Drum, they would always kill you, and it wasn't like there were other variations. It was just different variations of the Drum build. And I'm sure I'm misremembering, but now it feels like there's way more variations. And I mean, again, that's where those banned games are making things kind of interesting, because it's switching things up. But yeah, I feel like there's more variations and more insane combos where I don't know, I don't have it uploaded here yet, but I just played a game today where I was on a perfect run. I had won 9 games in a row, and then on the 10th day I just got totally smoked. So like you can have an insane build be on a roll, and then someone can just hard counter you. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm hooked on this game. Yeah, so I mean, that's part of what makes the gameplay good, is that the meta is changing, the patches change things, and the new heroes just totally shift things up. Like, let me jump back here. Yeah, so I haven't even played Jules yet, but again, just having items in the pool and having new characters, it's all, yeah, can't say enough good things about it. And what's the next? So current state of heroes in balance. So I think all the heroes, like, you can do well with them. Like with every patch, there's just different power rankings that move up. Especially when there's a new hero launch, there's usually at least a few days, maybe a week or so, where they're just super overpowered, because you just can't test all the combinations, not just with the new hero, but then with all the other ones. Like, how does everything all work together? But yeah, again, some heroes will just feel underpowered every patch, but there's always ways that you can just kind of high roll them. Again, I don't really play Stell as much, as you can see. These are my 2 mains, and then again, Mac I just kind of like mixing into for the most part. Pig, I think, is most fun for me, just because I like that econ focused and very like slow play, where you're almost expected to lose the first few while you build up econ. Mac is pretty dynamic, kind of the potion, regen, poison, burn was a lot of fun. Vanessa, just taking weapons to the face is, pretty sweet. Also, some of the poison builds for the aquatic is fun. Stell, again, I've played the least. I think she has the least amount of items, so it's a lot of the same sort of lines. Dooley, you can get some crack sort of combos, and again, the style with a whole bunch of small friend builds are kind of fun. So again, Jules super strong, but just haven't went in too much, because I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break once I wrap this review up. What else? So player experience after hundreds of hours. Yeah, it's still fun to win, because even if you have an idea what's a good build, what's in the meta, you can't really force it. So you're rewarded for being really opportunistic and kind of playing what you get. You're rewarded after playing lots of time, because you remember, I guess, what people call lines, where, here I'm playing the dog, so that means I have an advantage to be getting toys to sell to level it up, and a newer player might not know all of the items or know what might be available, but you can still kind of stumble through and figure it out. You learn very early on that scaling is what you focus on, but learning how to scale or there's just combos that you wouldn't get. So I think, even though I've played so many hours, I still find the content kind of fun because you'll see new builds or you'll see changes in the meta. So again, it's fun because it's a really deep sort of combinations, but it means that in addition to playing it, watching it is also an advantage. So it can be kind of a time sink that way. And I've heard some reviews where people say it's an investment, so it can be a little consuming that way. What else? I think a lot of the wins, you can feel like there's some skill involved. There still are times where, let me see. Yeah, here, unmitigated disaster. I think for this one, I just got 0 wins. Let me see. Yeah, 0 wins, day 7. It was a mess. I was trying to go for some sort of freezy thing, but it didn't come together. I think I had some tough matches, but I had a good skill here. So yeah, after how many hundreds of hours, you can still, you can still suck. So again, you can get bad RNG, but sometimes you try and do something off script or something that isn't in the meta and you can get crazy punished. That is this one anyways. What else we got going on? So yeah, player experience, still love it after a lot of time. I'm intentionally just playing it less because I want to move on to a new game. I think RoboQuest might be the one I want to try next, where it is a little bit of a different pace. But yeah, it's still a fun game, still playing it every week, just playing a little less instead of every day, moving down to something like once or twice on the weekend. Okay, what is next on the list to cover here? Okay, monetization. So yeah, this is a big thing with this game where a lot of people were not big fans of the monetization strategy or how it changed over time or how it was going to be one thing, then it moved to another. But to a certain extent, I get it. I'm not going to say I know all the details, but I know people that develop games. I watch documentaries about people making games, and it's not easy because anyone can make a game, but to make something good and make something that's lasting and sustainable, it's not easy. I personally know some friends that have made games and tried to make something of it, and again, it's tough because you need to pay the bills or you got families, so that's one side. But then again, same thing, when money is tight, I can understand where players are upset if they invest money in a game, and that is one thing with the monetization strategy changing. I can see why people are upset, but I can also get that they're trying and they're trying to fix it. I know one thing that's changed since the start was there's almost a bit of a pay-to-win element where if you paid money, you could get early access to new items, which a lot of times were really good. So for the first month or a few weeks of a season, the people who paid money would smoke you a lot of the times if they're using the new items. But that's changed, and I think that's better in a lot of ways. I luckily bought the game when they made their way to Steam, where you could get the game and Stell for $20, which was a crazy good deal. It worked out well because I was playing before and it locked the other heroes, so it came with. Let me see here. I think if I go to the store page, again, they got some positive reviews, 80% for total and mostly for there. So again, base is 26, which isn't too bad. But then I think, there's the other heroes that you have to pay for. So again, that might be kind of a turnoff. And again, I haven't bought the latest one on there. So yeah, but I mean, again, I'm not complaining. I've got hundreds of hours out of this, so definitely a solid game there. I haven't got into the cosmetics that much. I'm just into the gameplay. It's great, and if I win some, awesome. Yeah, I think that's most of it. Again, that's something that's changing, and it's been kind of like a lightning rod issue for some people, so I get it, but they are trying to make some changes, and obviously you can get your money's worth. Okay, what makes the game special? I don't know, I think it just, like I said, checks some boxes for me. I think in comparison, like if I look at what I want to do is actually bring up some, maybe got another browser window with some of the creators. So yeah, Ben's Backpack, when I was playing Backpack Battles, actually, yeah, that's maybe a good comparison. So if I go into Steam and Backpack Battles, 430 hours. So yeah, a ton. And again, I don't know Auto Battlers a ton, but I put a ton of time in there. And I think also, wasn't there a Backpack Battles demo? Maybe they took that off. But so yeah, I didn't have time in just Backpack Battles, but also, you know, the demo as well. So pretty new to Auto Battlers, but so like as an example here, let's go to the end of the game. Oh, he's got a whole bunch of games here. But yeah, you can kind of see here, like, you have, as opposed to basically one line of items here with adjacency bonuses, you have full, you know, way different palette of items and way more complication, which, again, it's super fun and super rewarding, but it's just a whole different level of decision paralysis sometimes. So like, let me see if I got any let's go to the studio, and if I go to content, playlists, Backpack Battles. Yes, I'm almost done here. I got a few more to go, but I don't know if I actually call it out, but for some of these games, like when you're trying to configure everything, like, let's see here. Yeah, this one isn't too bad because I got lots of bag space. But like, as you get to the end of the game, a lot of times you're just like, I'm sure there's a more optimal way to do this, but I'm literally just so tired of moving stuff around, I'm just not. Which, yeah, sometimes you don't want to play super sweaty, and that just is what it is. But, you know, it can be really satisfying when you do that. So, what do I like about Bazaar is sometimes it's just a little bit more chill, easier when you just got a line of stuff here. So, yeah. What else do I like? Yeah, there is kind of that tension, especially, you know, making it to these milestones of getting one chest here, 2 here, or 3 here. That's kind of fun, just kind of making it to that milestones. Another fun part is just when you get a really cracked build. Like, let's see here. Sweaty Gym Jorts. So this is spread across 2, so I'm guessing it went better. Let's see. Okay, so 9 wins. This has got to be when we get to 10. Yeah, like, look at this. Look at these numbers. And I mean, these aren't even infinite, but, you know, he's got 5,000 burn on me. I'm stacking up, you know, 40,000 shields. He's got 120. Our health is going off nuts. There's flames. There's shields. So, yeah, so even though, okay, it's just big numbers, but it is this is rare, so you appreciate it when it does happen. I think broken builds used to happen a lot more back in the day. So yeah, he ended up smoking me here in the end, but yeah, so that is still fun after all this time. And you kind of, maybe you could call it more of like a snowball moment where you just kind of keep on building momentum, getting really good skills, and then high rolling enchantments and upgrades. So yeah, that can be a lot of fun even after a lot of time, and frustrating, like, when you just miss out on one win to get that last chest. So again, lots of fun. What holds the game back? It's the monetization thing. Like, I think auto battlers are, I haven't played a ton, but like, I think if I go to the Bazaar, maybe store page, similar to Super Auto Pets, which is a free game, but there's some premium stuff where you can get some new stuff. I wonder if I go Auto Battler, what's going to come up for top? Dota Underlords? Okay. So yeah, maybe I'll just have to play some more, just because I haven't done that. I think I have Bad North, maybe? Not Jotun Edition, Heroes Hour. So yeah, I'll have to try some more, because again, I don't have a ton of experience with the genre, but the ones I have tried I've really got into, so yeah. I guess what else holds it back? It seems like a big time commitment. Like, to do well, I feel like you need to play it a lot. I'm kind of mid-brain, I guess, or maybe not new at the genre, so I feel like I'm helped a lot by watching other streamers, and kind of learning from people what I should be doing. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a time commitment. Again, a lot of the games are like over an hour long, so again, that can add up some time, but overall, pretty good. I think, yeah, again, there's not too much holding this game back. It's pretty solid. Like I said before, it would have been holding it back before when it wasn't on Steam and when it was crashing a lot. And it seems like they're stabilizing on a monetization model, but I don't know if that's just going to hold players back and stagnate it, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure I will be back. I'm sure I'll continue playing it, but maybe I'll revisit it after a few more heroes and see how it's going. So what would I say? I definitely recommend this game, especially if it's on sale and you can get a bundle and get some of the other heroes. I think you can get clearly your money back. I definitely did, and I'm sure I'll be spending some more time on it. Yeah, if you're not really into auto battlers, I don't know if this would be for you, but it is a pretty accessible way to get in. Again, I think Backpack Battles is great, and you can get tons of time out of there. But again, you'll definitely be able to get a sense, maybe watch some people do some streaming of it, and again, you'll get it. What else? Yeah, Steam release definitely helped it, moving from their old platform. Again, I don't know what the right answer is, but I'd love to see it continue to open up. This might be a really good fit on mobile, and they could get like a bigger player base there. I also know that there's some potential community crossovers happening, like I think if I go back to Aman Rahresh, yeah, like this league, I don't know if he has some notes about it here. No. Oh, tournament rules. There are teams of 6, 1 for each character. Teams pair off in each of their classes, do a ranking at the same time. Before the match starts, each player stakes up to 15 bands. Opponent then sends a list of corresponding number of banned items. The only feature of a banned item is you may not show up on the end screen, win or lose. If a banned item shows up on the end screen, score is 0. Incentive to take on as many bans as you can is that each banned item increases your score. Scoring is 1 point per day 1, 1 point per ban if the game results in a 10-win victory. So, Yeah. But again, it's kind of cool. Like they're trying to develop a community and like a little bit of a, evolve it. So still good on that side. Yeah, the only reason I'm really moving on is I want to take a break. Like I said, I think Robocus is the next game I want to try, different genre, and just see how that goes. So I think that's it. Let me see what's going on here. Been kind of rambling for about 30 minutes. Yeah, overall, this game is great. I can understand why some people might be hesitant on it just because they maybe aren't sure if they want to invest the money or whatnot. But yeah, if you like auto battlers, I don't know, I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Auto battlers as opposed to auto battler. But yeah, I like it. I'll continue playing it probably. And, maybe sink some more time in after some other heroes or when something big happens. But yeah, let me know what you think. Again, there's lots of other ones I probably will try in the future, so feel free to throw in the comments if you know some good ones or just have some questions. And that is my rambling review for the Bazaar. All right, sweet. Peace.